Good morning from Mesa, Arizona. You are looking now at Championship Court, and this is the end of the warm-up for our men's and women's singles pro event, as well as the senior pro event. Singles is a really exciting aspect of pickleball that we don't always get to see a lot of, so you're really in for a treat today as we look at the singles competition. Behind me, you see Tyson McGuffin. He's getting ready to take on AJ Koller in this first round match. I'm your host, Mark Renison, and I'm going to be bringing you this live coverage all day long. So let's take a quick break, and then we're going to get ready for this first serve here at the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier from Mesa, Arizona. All right, not bad. Stumbled on. Welcome back, Championship Court. Tyson McGuffin getting ready to serve here to AJ Koller in this opening game here of this best 2 out of 3 match, and that is a pattern that we are going to see a lot from Mr. McGuffin, where he hits that serve pretty hard, keeping Koller back if possible, or at least challenging his timing. And watch as McGuffin runs around his backhand to use his forehand whenever possible. Koller, of course, is going to try to prevent Tyson McGuffin from doing what he wants, and so you're going to see him aim that return to the backhand side. Score is 0-1. I'll get a scoreboard up for you in a minute. In the meantime, I'll let you know what the score is. Don't fret, as we see a nice drop volley from McGuffin. Thank you for joining us this morning. 1-0 is the score. McGuffin serving, and that ball goes into the net. It's one of the risks of the aggressive serve that we see McGuffin using, is that sometimes that ball will go too low, perhaps even a little too high, and then goes out. 0-1 is the score. Tyson McGuffin versus AJ Koller. That's a nice cross-court pass from Mr. Koller. If you're new to singles, you can expect to see more frequent side outs than we typically see in doubles. That's because the player returning serve will still try to come to the net, just like they do in doubles, as a way to apply pressure on their opponents, take away their time to react, maybe even find a high ball while they're up there. The trouble is for them is that they've got to cover the entire court by themselves, unlike in doubles where you only really are responsible for about half of the court. And so McGuffin's going to have to make sure that he hits a high quality return, and that ball goes just long. AJ Koller serving at 3-1 here. There we go, and we see a little bit of cat and mouse action here early on. What I mean by that is you're going to see sometimes where the serving player, instead of hitting a third shot passing shot, if they feel like they're not in a great position to do it, it's 1-3, then what they're going to do is they're going to play a drop. There we go, the nice passing shot by McGuffin. He had that one lined up. And so if they feel like they're in a position where they can't hit that good drive as a passing shot, they will often play a drop like we sometimes see in doubles. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to battle it out up near the net. That ball is just wide. lob that lands inside the baseline. McGuffin on the defense here. AJ Koller making him work early in this first round, and he had an opportunity there with that high forehand. Two threes the score. McGuffin complimenting AJ Koller on the quality of that offensive lob he hit. And that is a high quality serve from McGuffin that finds the net. 3-3. Three threes the score, and with that passing shot and the volley that finds the net, that's going to be 4-3. Tyson McGuffin surging ahead here. Nice down the line passing shot. You saw McGuffin use that cross-court drop in order to set up that down the line opportunity. Nicely executed. 5-3. McGuffin finding his rhythm. McGuffin, good job reaching for that ball, playing the angles. He's so quick out there on the court. That really is his strength that he's going to rely on, is his speed around the court. If you're just joining us, I'm Mark Renison, and we are watching opening round match here at the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier here in Mesa, Arizona. That's going to be a great drop volley from Mr. Koller. If you are watching, first thing I'd like you to do is hit that share button so other people can see it as well on this beautiful Sunday morning. It's 8 o'clock local time. 8:13, I should say. So hit that share button so other people can enjoy this great action as well. As we see McGuffin, that patented lasso-style forehand, getting a lot of topspin. And after hitting that share button, which is the first thing you're going to do, the second thing you're going to do, I hope, send me a quick note. Say hello to me, just like Lynn Coe did. Good morning. Port Charlotte, Florida's watching. Glad you're there. Sarah McKinnis, I'm glad you're here. Hit that share button, Sarah. Lee Waters is watching, and she definitely knows a thing or two about pickleball and the importance of using that drive as a mechanism for causing trouble for your opponents. As we see McGuffin serve so tough, AJ Koller not even able to get to the net. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Kira Gusto is asking about this. Can be live streamed on. It's going to be 8-3 here. We're going to take a quick break for a moment. This hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. We're going to be back with more in a second.
The day before I start match day in pickleball, I make sure I have all my electrolytes. I would use the normal sports drinks that I grew up using. I started taking Jigsaw electrolytes. It's been beneficial and helped my game improve a lot. I know that throughout the day, I'm going to be fine for those 12 to 14 hours if it takes that long. My body's going to hold up. So that was great, not having to worry about one more thing besides just playing pickleball.
We are back live, 8-3, McGuffin serving. He's built a strong lead here after being down a little bit earlier. Once again, we see AJ Koller not able to get to the net. We'll talk about that after this rally. I mentioned earlier in singles play, just like in doubles, the returners typically want to come to the net and come forward. But again, because they have to patrol the whole court by themselves, if they feel like they hit a return of serve that's not of adequate quality, they realize it's going to be too easy to pass them at the net, and they'll sometimes stay back. That, however, is definitely not what you want to do, because by staying back, you put zero pressure on your opponents. You allow them to come forward easily. So you're going to see McGuffin here trying to serve in such a way that, and you can see the pressure that Koller was under there, that McGuffin's going to serve hard enough that he thinks that Koller's going to either struggle to come in or hit a poor quality return that allows McGuffin to hit a pass. And that was a great return, forcing McGuffin back. Here's what we call the cat and mouse, and there we go. Nicely done. Koller using that long reach. Say good morning to Maureen Cauduro. Don Lockman telling me to take it easy today. Take it easy every day, Don. Good first pass, and then that sets up the opportunity, but McGuffin guesses right. Good morning, Miak Lee and Ernie Medina Jr., as well as Nicholas Farrell Chu from Malaysia. 9-3, McGuffin serving. There's an around the post opportunity defended by McGuffin. Great singles action here. Nice shot from Koller. McGuffin had a read on it though, able to get the ball back in play. And that sets up our first game point of the day. 10-3, McGuffin serving. Watch him to be aggressive here. Running around that backhand to set up the forehand. He had it lined up. Just finds the top of the net. With that side out, 3-10, AJ Koller. Again, he's going to try to serve, hoping to elicit a poor return from McGuffin. But unlikely to see one of those. That's a nice angled backhand, and that's going to go into the open corner. Tyson McGuffin again serving with a game point here. 10-3 here in game number 1. McGuffin defending with a drop. Not much defense you can do when the ball clips over the net like that. And AJ Koller knows he got lucky. Puts up his hand. A gentleman's apology. And with that side out, 3-10. Koller trying to fight his way back here. That serve's going to go long. And again, it's not because Koller can't put the ball in the court. It's because he knows how aggressive he needs to be with that serve to keep Mr. McGuffin back from the net. Another game point for Tyson. That's a tough, and forces Koller to stay back. Invites McGuffin to the net, and he's going to control the point and take game number 1. Tyson McGuffin over AJ Koller, 11-3. As these players take a quick break, we're going to take a quick break as well, and we're going to be back here for game number 2, PPA Grand Slam Qualifier in Mesa, Arizona. Welcome back to Championship Court here in Mesa, Arizona. If you're just joining us, you are watching men's pro singles pickleball action here. This is the opening round here on the final day of competition. You're watching Tyson McGuffin battle AJ Koller. Tyson McGuffin won game number 1. I'm your host, Mark Renison, and if you are just joining us, I would really love you to do 2 things. Thing number 1 is please hit that share button so other people can enjoy this live action from Mesa. Okay, now that you've done that. Thing number 2 is give me a quick hello. Tell me where you're watching from, what the pickleball scene is like where you are, whether you've played any pickleball already on this Sunday morning. It's 8:21 local time. Once again, the McGuffin serve able to keep AJ Koller back, but he looks to counterattack. Does a good job of making his way up there. That's going to be the hard way to win the points. Sometimes you got to do it the hard way, right? Zero-zero is the score. Speaking of 0-0, looking at One of the other top players who's going to contend for this title, Tyler Loon, he won his match already, 11-0, 11-0. Bit of an upset victory. J.W. Johnson defeated Joey Farias, 11-5, 11-1. Gotta say, that's a bit of a surprise. Colin Johns, he won his opening match. Frank Anthony Davis as well, a top 5 singles player. He defeated Tyler Ausmus 11-1, 11-0 in this opening round. Tyson McGuffin. Score is 0-1, McGuffin serving. I'll post the draw here in the comments section of this thread. Great defense from Koller. Let's see if McGuffin can get out of a jam. Doesn't need to. That ball goes long. Good morning to Deborah Duckworth from South Carolina. Robin Barr-Trexler from North Carolina. Ernie's in Loma Linda, California. I've been out there doing some clinics in the past. Ernie's asking the best question, someone who passes well. Drop shots? Not really, Ernie. Typically the thing you want to do is you want to put them in a position where they can't hit that pass as well. And one of the important differences between singles and doubles pickleball, which we'll talk after this point, McGuffin making Koller work here. I'd expect a timeout after this point, just for fatigue alone. So one of the important differences, Ernie, is in doubles, it's very important to return the serve deep, put your opponents in position where they can't do much damage. In singles, however, it's more important that you make your opponent stretch, even if the return isn't that deep. You see right here, Koller try to keep the ball away from McGuffin so he has to stretch, because if players are on the stretch, it's much harder for them to hit a good pass. So the depth becomes less of a factor on the return of serve in doubles, and it's more about making your opponent move. If you simply play a drop shot, Ernie, these players are going to get to it so quickly. Here we go. McGuffin's return not good enough. Koller able to play a good pass and control the point, but McGuffin, as he's so good at doing, able to get himself out of trouble. All right, say good morning to Jason Hendricks from Menifee, California. Gary Allen from Mentone, Alabama. Mike Paulson in Tucson. Lee Waters joining the feed. We're going to stay here for this quick break. We're going to say hi to a few more people and talk a few more things. Lee Waters is saying J.W. Johnson is one of our practice partners. I'm guessing when she says our, she means herself as well as daughter Anna Lee Waters. Home in Florida. He's definitely one to watch, a 17-year-old and great player. So that was that upset match we talked about, J.W. Johnson taking down Joey Farias in this first round match. They just called that match, Lee. J.W. Johnson now heading out onto the court against Colin Johns. Kirk Jensen, hi to you from Alberta. Fred Hartzman, part of the team that puts on the Nationals event at Indian Wells, California. Say good morning to you. Yeah, so Ernie, I play in the 55 plus, he says, so not as quick. That's right. So, yeah, how the same principle applies, Ernie. In singles, you would still want to make your opponents move and stretch when they're hitting that ball. How far away you need to hit it from them might not be quite as extreme as if you're playing here with the pros. And so the same principle applies, even though the degree of quality that you have to use might be a little bit different. Say good morning to Sue Blackburn, who's joining us. All right, and that timeout's over. 4-1, Tyson McGuffin looking to build on this lead here in game number 2 after taking game number 1. That serve lands just a little bit deep. Once again, McGuffin trying to be aggressive, make it hard for Koller's going to try to get out of a jam here. That's a nice drop. That'll go a long way to doing it. And in fact, he does manage to escape from trouble here. That drop is so important being able to play. We know about it in doubles play. Steve Belmont asking about which matches we're going to show. Believe it or not, Steve Belmonte, I only have so much control over what comes out on here this championship court. And so I can't quite... I'll see if I can find out who's coming up next here for you. But there's all sorts of machinations that go on behind the scenes. Melissa McCurley and the team at pickleballtournaments.com do such a great job of making sure that this tournament is running on time and on schedule. And that's also one of the factors that comes into play when determining which matches come out. With that side out, Tyson McGuffin continues serving 4-2. That ball goes long again. The aggressive McGuffin serve paying dividends here. He's always happy to get a freebie. Look, it's going to be a weak return, forces Koller to stay back. So anyone who tells you, yeah, no problem, Steve Belmonte. That's what the E's for, right? Anyone who tells you that the serve doesn't really matter in pickleball certainly doesn't watch high caliber play. Now that forehand passing shot from McGuffin, that's really the highlight reel shot. But both he and Koller know it was the serve that set up the weak return that created the opportunity for McGuffin to rip that forehand. 7-2 McGuffin serving, in control here of this match. What a great drop that is. Great serve again from McGuffin, forcing A.J. Koller to stay back. That gives McGuffin the invitation to come forward. He does, but can't handle that backhand volley. Goes a little bit out. Deborah F. Campbell noticing that every tournament, every pro tournament she goes to, it seems like the level is getting higher and higher. And I would agree with you, Deborah. The quality of player is just getting so tough. There's so many new players coming into. We just learned earlier that Jack Huzek is a former world #1 racquetball player. And when you get someone of that caliber, that sort of athletic ability coming into the sport, you're bound to get higher quality competition. What happens then is all the pros who've been comfortable at the top of the game, they know that they need to keep stepping things up. They can't be static. You know that McGuffin has spent a lot of time on the court and in the gym for exactly that reason. And so it's a really exciting time to be part of pickleball as we watch it continue to grow as a sport. It's a great forehand from McGuffin. Really at that point, A.J. Koller just needs to guess which way that ball is going to go, and that's tough. We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to be back in a moment. More here from Mesa, Arizona. See if Tyson McGuffin can close it out.
I've tried a lot of other products, plenty of electrolyte mixes. They either contain some sort of sugar in them or something to give you a boost for a little while, but eventually it runs out.
Jigsaw products help me stay competitive. They help me stay energized.
It's helped me become a better player.
Jigsaw helps me recover faster.
I think all of you need Jigsaw help in your life. And you know why?
It's fun to feel good.
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 It's fun to feel good. Cheers.
And we're back live here on Championship Court. 9-2, and with that passing shot, that's going to be 10-2, and that's going to set up match point for Tyson McGuffin. From tip to tail here, I guess at the very start of this match, AJ Koller knocked off a couple points, but here we have a match point for McGuffin. Another aggressive serve. Koller still coming in. Does a good job of getting McGuffin moving here. That's a nice angled drop volley for the winner. He's got a tall task ahead of him, though, if he wants to climb back into this match down a game and 2-10. There's another lob, defensive lob, I would say. McGuffin's able to handle it and controls from the net. He's so good. That deceptive shot, McGuffin from that position can roll the ball cross-court. He can hit it with speed. He can even play that drop as he did there. It's very tough to defend. How about that C&D net? That is the official net, C&D Pickleball Nets, as we look at Alette. C&D Pickleball Net, the official net of the PPA. Match point, McGuffin serving. And that ball sails just a little bit long. Tyson McGuffin, I would say no surprise, takes down AJ Koller. He did put up a little bit of resistance early on and did make McGuffin work for it. McGuffin thanking the referee for her service. We're going to be back with more live men's pro singles action here from day number 4 at the PPA event, the Grand Slam Qualifier in Mesa, Arizona.